Hey, let's go. Hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day. Ryan Loede here, coming to you live from the Ohio headquarters, bringing to you guys a quick little insurance tip for all my insurance individuals out there, insurance agents, insurance agency owners, business owners, organization owners, people growing a team, people not growing a team. Let this help you out. Bringing you a quick little insurance tip. We're going to talk about what you can control as an insurance agent, and as an insurance agency owner, a team builder, what you can help your partners, your downlines in your agency control as well. Because a lot of times, and I've seen it myself as well, when I first got started in insurance, a lot of times I was trying to control things that are out of my control. And that's the last thing that we want to do. We want to control the controllables, right? So before I go any further, just want to properly introduce myself. My name is Ryan Loede, building a 9-figure insurance agency and helping everyday Americans create a multiple 6-figure residual income within their first year here at LC Financial Group. We're hiring, we're growing, we're looking for great people, we're looking for individuals who not just want to change their lives, but also want to change other individuals' lives as well. So if you want to learn more about what partnering with us here at LC Financial Group looks like, DM me, comment below, or reach out to any of our partners here at LC Financial Group. So let's get into it. 6 areas that you can control as an insurance agent, and 6 areas that you can help your partners and your downlines control as an insurance agency owner and a business owner, right? Because as I was saying earlier, like, we don't want to focus on what we can't control. We want to focus on what we can control. Put our energy, effort, and our time towards what we can control, right? Control the controllables. Focus on the leading indicators, those things that are going to move us towards our goals and targets, those things that are going to move us towards reaching our sales quota every single week, or our target that we set every single week. Anything else that we can't control, do not spend time, energy, or effort on that. Because next thing we know, we're trying to control all these things that we can't even control, and we're getting lost in the nuances. We're getting lost in trying to, have everything be perfect. We're getting lost in, trying to have everything in order. Whereas, like, hey, just control what you can control the controllables, control the leading indicators. What are leading indicators? Leading indicators are actions and activities and things that are going to move us towards our goals and targets, right? So here are 6 areas that we should be controlling. 6 areas to control, right? Control. I love that word. A lot of people despise the word control, but hey, you got to have control. There's good control, there's bad control, right? Good control is control that is very predictable, whereas bad control is control that is unpredictable, control that is spotty, it's inconsistent, right? It's not consistent control. So having good control over our life is a great thing. So number one thing that we should be looking to control is our leads, right? Because hey, sales is a numbers game. Insurance is a numbers game. If you're an insurance agent, hey, if you're an insurance agency owner or a business owner, building your agency and building your organization is a numbers game as well. So leads could be people to speak to. Whether it's people to speak to as an insurance agent, people to speak to sell in a service. You can service with Medicare, service with final expense, mortgage protection, or if it's people to speak to and you're an insurance business owner and an agency owner, building your organization, building your team, it's hires to talk to, potential recruits to talk to, right? The leads is the lifeblood of our business. Whether you're an insurance agent or an insurance business owner, you need people to speak to. You have to have people to speak to. When I was, in the field, personally producing for the first 3 to 4 years of my career, I was totally focused on just people to speak to. I produced at the level I produced at because I had a multitude of people to speak to, right? You never want to be dependent on one single person. So making sure that we have leads coming in on a weekly basis or daily basis. Making sure that we're controlling the amount of leads that we get. How can we control it? Hey, maybe it's by having multiple lead vendors instead of just relying on one lead vendor, right? You never want to rely on one thing of anything in your life. So insurance agents, like, how do you control your leads? Multiple lead vendors. How else do you control? Putting so much money towards leads that, hey, you get an influx of leads coming in. How else do you control it? It's by being an authority figure within your organization that they're like, man, we got to feed this individual. Maybe you're getting free leads like we offer here at LC Financial Group. All the leads are free. We provide you leads. And you're gonna get more leads when you are producing. So that's another way that you can control the amount of leads that you get. Maybe your organization gives you leads. Hey, produce more, and they're gonna flood you with leads. They're gonna be like, man, this dude's showing up, he's taking the action, he's getting results. They're gonna flood you with leads, right? So that's the number one area that we need to control as an insurance agent and insurance agency owner. It's the leads. The amount of people that we have to speak to, whether it's people to service and sell insurance to or help with their Medicare, or whether it's, hey, potential recruits and potential new partners that can join your agency, right? We gotta have people to speak to. We gotta stay productive, right? We gotta remove the white space. How do we remove the white space? By having people to speak to, right? And the number two thing that we can control is our calls. We can control the amount of calls that we make. We can control the amount of dials that we make, right? I mean, it's like, hey, like, these are the most simplest things. However, a lot of people get caught, as I was saying earlier, in the nuances. They get caught up in things they can't control. So figure out what you can control. These 6 areas that I'm sharing with you, I'm sure there's more than these 6 areas, but figure out what you can control and only put your energy, time, and effort in those things that you can control. So number 2, it's the amount of calls that you can make. The amount of calls that you can make, you can control this. As long as you have a working phone, you can control how many calls that you make. You want to make 100 calls, you can do it. You want to make 200 calls, you can do it. You want to make 300 calls, you can do it. And even better, hey, get a dialer. Get a dialer that automatically dials your leads, right? That's one of the best ways that you can use your time as efficiently as possible, so you're not continually ringing and continually dialing on your phone. For me personally, I actually like dialing on my phone. It's more activity. It feels like I'm more in control of the process rather than just waiting for people to answer the phone, right? I'd rather just dial on my phone. But hey, if you want to be most effective, use a dialer, right? So the amount of calls that we make can be easily controlled. What's your target every single day? What's your target every single week? How many calls you want to make? Don't lower the target, only increase the actions. The more calls you make, hey, the more people you're going to be able to speak to. The more people you speak to, the more presentations you're going to be able to make. The more presentations, the more closes and enrollments that you're going to be able to make, right? So it all starts with, hey, number 1, leads. You got to have people to speak to. You can't make calls without the leads. If you want to control the amount of calls you make, you got to control the amount of leads that you get. And then number three, for you folks that are still hustling and bustling out there in the field like I was for the first 3-4 years of my career, the door knocks. Getting in front of people, going face to face, getting in the field, getting in the trenches, as I like to call it. Something I was doing for my first 3 to 4 years is door knocking. Removing the distance between you and the buyer, removing the distance between you and the client. I still think door knocking is one of the most effective ways to prospect for business. Here's the reason why, is because number 1, many people are not door knocking nowadays. Many people are not in the field face to face. Whereas a lot of people in the insurance industry have converted to over the phone, which, hey, don't get me wrong, over the phone is great. However, I would do a mix of it. If you are primarily doing over the phone, make sure that you have some leads that you can get that are within the vicinity of the area that you're in that you can also go see face to face. Call them first. Hey, call them first. Bang that lead. Call them as much as you can. Hey, if they don't answer, boom. Now you have the opportunity to door knock them. And you want to control the amount of door knocks that you make. So if you're still in the field, you can control the amount of door knocks that you make. Set a goal, set a target, just like with calls. Set a target of how many doors you want to hit. For me, hey, dude, it was like one day in my career, 3 to 4 years of door knocking, final expense, face to face. man, I hit like 30 doors in a day. That's when like no one was answering the door. It was like one of these crazy days. But you can set a target for how many doors that you want to hit every single day and never lower that target. Increase your action, increase the ability to move forward, and continue to keep persisting to hit your target, right? So number 3 is door knocking. And then number 4 is the amount of time that you work, the hours that you work. Now this is one of the most important things, because hey, without having discipline and without being consistent with the amount of hours that you work, the amount of time that you put towards high value activity, the amount of time that you put towards money generating activity, without discipline and consistency with this, hey, leads are obsolete. The amount of calls you make are obsolete. The amount of door knocks you make are obsolete. If you don't have the discipline to work a set specific amount of hours every single day, which is what I've seen a lot of highly successful agents in the insurance industry as well as partners within LC Financial Group, my organization, do. They have a consistent schedule, they're disciplined, they stick to it, and they do it day in and day out. They don't deviate from their schedule. What I highly recommend everyone in the insurance industry is just work the job like it's a normal 9-to-5 job. Work it like a 9-to-5 job. 8 hours. It doesn't have to be exactly 9 to 5, but hey, work 8 hours every single day and you are almost guaranteed to succeed. As long as you have the right systems, you have the right leadership, you have the right resources, you have the right sales skills, right? And you show up every single day, it's bound to happen. So controlling the amount of hours that you work is absolutely crucial, because hey, without the amount of hours that you work, say if you're working 2 hours a day, like leads, like you hardly even need any leads. Like you can work on 20 leads a week if you're working 22 hours a day. Calls, like wow, like you hardly have to make any calls if you're working 2 hours a day, right? Door knocks, right? Like so on and so forth. Like you gotta have that consistent flow of like, I'm gonna work this amount of time every single day. Because hey, the marketplace and the world will not reward spotty, inconsistent, undisciplined actions and activities. Bottom line, it's not going to reward you. You're going to have one great day, then you're going to have one bad day. Great. It's going to go up and down, up and down. It's like a teeter saw. It's like a roller coaster. Your results are going to go up and down, up and down.